warm welcome to this very special interview on the Money Mile. Joining me today is one of India's most dynamic mutual fund leaders, Swarup Mohanty, who's the CEO at Mirae Asset Investment Managers, one of India's fastest growing mutual fund houses. Thanks very much, Swarup, for joining me here today. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Swarup, in times like this, the importance of asset allocation seems to have come out, because if you had only invested in equities, for example, you would be seeing a fairly sharp cut in your portfolio, 20 to 30%. Even on the side of debt, there have been a lot of concerns and a few accidents along the way. How important is asset allocation, and has COVID-19 and what we've gone through in the last 2-3 months in the markets brought once again to the fore the importance of asset allocation?
I think this is the most important question that one has to face. Once you answer your question of why you are investing, you sort of fix a goal for yourself. And the beauty of having a goal is it is measurable. And look at it from today's perspective. Let's look at an investor who's with a goal and an investor who's without a goal. A person with a goal would know exactly how much he or she has deviated from the path, and with the help of an advisor can rework coming back to that path again. But a person without a goal would be lost at this moment, would be pretty disillusioned with his investing experience. And then that's the outcome of not having a goal. Once you have your goal, then along with your risk-taking ability, you form your portfolio, which is the financial plan. This financial plan is spread across the asset classes to form a good balanced portfolio, which we call an asset allocated portfolio. People make or create wealth due to discipline and asset allocation. Let me tell you, most of the plans worldwide fail because of lack of discipline. And it is times like this which test you. It's quite normal to get a little way-sided due to the fluctuations in the market. But the person who thinks of it rationally, the person who thinks of it mathematically and is very rigid in sticking to the asset allocation, finally ends up achieving his goals on the desired amount of time, right? The reason why we say you should be spread across our reasons that we have seen in the markets over the last 2-3 months. And this is not just 2-3 months, it's spread over a period of time. No single asset is a winner across times. And it is at times that you know the benefits of being invested across. Say, look at gold for an instance. I mean, it didn't work for such a long time. In 1 year, gave the returns which probably you will not see for a long period of time. So people who never thought that gold was a part of the asset allocation would have missed out. Look at international investing, which comes up at times and again and forms a good addition to your portfolio. So when with the help of a good advisor, you form a good asset allocation which is spread across asset classes, you end up forming a strong portfolio which will catch the ups and downs of all sides of the market. It is wrong to be allocated only to equity or only to be debt. The only thing that I'd like to point out is that, like, when we look at equity investing, we know for sure how much to allocate on the large cap, mid cap, or small cap, or a sector fund. That is there in a lot of investors' mind. My only submission to all investors would be, when you look at debt investing, please look at an allocation, because there are 16 different categories carrying different risk profiles. And there also your money has to be spread across like we spread it on equity. And that's something which I do believe will unfold post the COVID era, because we've seen some parts of the risk coming out, and I hope and pray that we start talking about the risks associated in debt a little bit more than we have in the past. So on both sides, if we combine our monies in all parts as per our risk profile, we can make a good asset allocated portfolio to sustain the ups and downs of the market.
Thanks very much, Swarup, for joining me for this interview, and hopefully things will get better soon. Thank you once again for joining me.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.